Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Eccentric Mind Podcast with George Hernandez. Welcome in. Welcome. Hello. Wherever you're at, either in your car or if I'm in your ears right now as you're taking a walk in Moreno Valley, California. Honestly, we're just going to get straight into it. We're going to talk about one thing, and what that one thing is: one small change, one mistake, and one small step. The power of one. Now, as you may know, some people may know the power of one as in doing one more, right? To kind of understand what you're truly capable of. So doing one more mile, doing one more minute, doing one less calorie, whatever it may be, just the power of doing one more so that you can really just kind of discover what you're truly capable of. And whenever I think of the one more rule, I think immediately about David Goggins and his 40% rule, right? David Goggins, if you don't know, David Goggins' 40% rule lies directly on being at 40% of your true capacity and then overdoing it, right? Because whenever we're at our peak, whenever we think mentally we cannot do any more than we have already done, we're actually only at 40% of our true capacity physically. So we have 60% more to give. So it's all dependent on you and your mindset. So I'm here to bring up to you just a couple things, a couple of examples, a couple of stories that I've had, and a couple lessons I've learned through the power of one. Now, the first one, let's talk about the most fresh one and the most recent. I made a mistake, guys. It's funny, just one simple mistake can ruin the trajectory of the things you had planned. And it's super simple. Today, my dad and I were changing out my oil for my car, for my vehicle. If you're curious, I have a 2010 Nissan Sentra. The thing's banged up. The thing's totally banged up. But we're changing the oil. You know, me and my dad were laughing it up. I like these times because I get to actually spend a little bit more quality time with my pops. And it's something he genuinely likes to do. So it's like, it's a good time. And he also likes to make fun of me while I'm just, taking a swing at things, trying to figure it all out myself. So it's good times. It's good times. But today was a little different. So we put in we get all our stuff together. We put the caulks on the car. We lift it up. We're going under. We put a little woodworks below just in case the oil doesn't get onto the concrete. All that good stuff. And also we have a comfortable thing to lay back on while we're taking off the screw from beneath. And I take off the screw. I have my little funnel so that all the oil can go in there. So we're good. Everything is looking great. He's got a new filter, so I'm putting in the new filter. Everything's looking fine. I take off the screw one more time. Now we're just about done. So now it's time to put everything back. Everything is going back on now. Okay, good. Fun times, right? I'm actually getting ready to make some eggs and some chicken. So I'm excited. I'm getting hungry. It's been a long day. Now, I put everything back and I noticed there's like a small little screw. The smallest little ring size screw. Even smaller than a pinky finger ring. Really, really tiny. And I'm thinking, is this important? And I was like, nah, it's small. One little small thing. Nah, it's fine. It's not going to be the end of the world, right? So I put my screw back on. I don't really put the ring on. Fine, we're good. But I actually, honestly, I saw it. I had it in my hand and I kind of dropped it and it went into the oil. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's not that important, right? Because I probably would have taken a little bit better care of it had it been that important. So no, it's fine. I don't really need it. I put the screw back on, but beneath the car, we put the oil in. Everything's good. Everything's looking good. And we're getting ready. My dad wants me to turn on the car just in case. I turn on the car, turn it off. We're looking good. Nothing, no leakage, nothing. There's a couple little drops of oil, but other than that, we're sparkling. We're chilling. It's go time. It's egg time. It's chicken time. I'm hungry. Let's go. I come inside. I'm making my eggs, and my dad is like, George, Jorge, se salió el aceite. And I'm like, what? Like, just, okay, it's probably like a little bit, right? Like, just a little bit of oil is dropping and he's flipping out because my dad's also a perfectionist, just like me. And I go out there and bro, there is a lake the size of Lake Paris out there. It is insane. And it's just full of oil. And I think I got some footage, which I'll show you right now. If you're looking at the YouTube video or the Spotify. Yeah, it's no joke. It was no joke. It was like a lake. It was a pond of oil. It was horrible. And it all could have been changed had I just put that little small ring screw at the bottom of my car. Now, what's the lesson here? What's the mistake? Well, had I just put on and not underestimated how small of a thing it was, I wouldn't have had the pain of having to spend 2 hours for a simple oil change, right? I could have had my time back. I could have been doing other things with that time, right? I could have been writing, I could have been reading, whatever. But now it's like, no, just because I decided to underestimate that one small screw, that one mistake, changed the trajectory of my day. And now what? You know? It's like small things like that. And what I'm bringing about in regards to this is like one small mistake can change the trajectory of your life, right? This is what we're going down to, right? It's always leading to being your best creative self while also being your best individual self, you know? So it's like one simple mistake can really change the trajectory of what you're doing, you know? Though it may seem tiny now, it can eventually grow bigger and change whatever thing you had going on throughout your day. So that's one simple mistake, and now one small change. I have another example. I have 3 examples for you today. So if you're getting annoyed at this, click off. So one small change, is, so I worked at a facility about 6 months ago, I worked at a warehouse about 6 months ago. I worked there for about 9-10 months. And we had a guard shack where we were outside, and whenever a loaded truck came in, we talked to him. Hey, what do you got going on in there? We checked them into the system on the paper, sent them their way, and then good, we're all good. But at the back of the trailer is a clamp, okay? Small little clamp. So we got to put on the clamp at the back so that way it indicates and it shows everyone else that this trailer is loaded, okay? This trailer is loaded. It has merchandise in it, so it's loaded, okay? So, and that's our policy. We have to put the tags, the clamps on there, okay? Or the seals, excuse me. You have to put the seals on there. So I'm putting the seal on. And normally these seals have another rope. I might have a picture and I'll show it to you guys here. It has like a little plastic seal already attached, but we need to put the metal attached seal onto it. So normally, whenever we do decide to put this physical seal on, this harder seal, it's a pain having to put the R seal on with that plastic seal already on. Now, well, why not just leave it be? Well, it's policy, and my warehouse, they used to just watch the cameras endlessly, so it felt like you're always being watched. So we're putting on the seals, and I'm noticing there's one specific one that doesn't want to freaking go in. I'm trying to get it in. I'm moving the plastic seal. I'm like trying to get it in from one side. It doesn't go in, so I switch it around and try and get it into the other side. You break it apart, and then you have to like clamp it together as such, right? Break it apart, and then you just put it together. And it wasn't going in. And now this guy in the truck, he's moving. So now it's like, oh shit, okay, well, I gotta get this thing on or I'm gonna get in trouble, right? So one small change, I decide, hey, you know what? Let's just rip off the fucking plastic seal and that's it. One small change got me the result that I wanted. One small thing that I never really thought about gave me the result that I wanted. So what's that small thing you've been thinking about? What's that small thing that you're underestimating can change the trajectory of your life, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's eating healthier, whether it's stop drinking caffeine, start drinking alcohol less, start going to sleep a little earlier. What is that small change that you can make in order to start changing the trajectory of your life? You need to stop thinking about these things as underestimating factors, because the more people start doing, every single time, every person I've heard who has started eating healthier, stopped drinking soda, started just fucking throwing away the trash in their mental diet, physical diet, they just always feel better. And it's ridiculous to me how people will underestimate these things: water, sleep, breathing. They will underestimate them, but they won't go out to the distance to actually give them a try and notice the healing benefits that are obtained from them, or just the general benefits from them. And it's like, what small step can you make today, tomorrow, whatever day it may be? What small, simple change can you make that is going to benefit you tomorrow? Because as I always say, like, the work today is not for today. It's for the destination that you want tomorrow. So it's like, what small thing can you start just adding to your regular day that is going to benefit you rather than harm you, right? That's what I always think of. And it always relates to that story from the warehouse. And lastly, one more. One fucking more. What comes to mind is when I say that, one more, what comes to mind is how I remember when I was like trying to be a fitness coach, very, very hard. I was trying so hard to become a fitness coach. I remember a lot of people were, I don't want to sound like, some people just don't have the information, right? And I don't negate them or bring them down in any sort of way. But when it comes down to it, to build muscle, right, you need to hit a place of mechanical failure. So the point where you just can't do anymore. Or many people don't know, like you can also reach a state where it's like, okay, maybe you're 1 to 2 shy away from failure. You don't always have to hit failure to, have optimal muscle, right? And when it comes down to it, I noticed a lot of people that were complaining. And like I said, most people just don't have the general information and they just don't really care as much. They just kind of want the results to come within themselves. But with more time, it's going to come. I might be going a little bit on a tangent, but the reason most people don't have that sort of muscle or that gain or that, progress is because they fail to reach that point of one more. Okay? So I notice a lot of people's training, they'll do 3 sets of 10, and that 10 is super fucking easy, right? They have 4 to 6 more left in reserve, aka 4 to 6 more reps to do, before reaching that point of mechanical failure. And that's how all 3 of their sets are. But if they reach the point where they stop, where they just were truly seeing that movement getting slower and slower and slower, they would understand what the point and rule of one more would be. So the whole point of one more, as I'm going to explain, I hope I didn't lose you along the process. One more is just doing one fucking more. Truly seeing what you're capable of. Truly finding out what the fuck you're what the fuck you're made of, I'll give you another example. Last one. So I ran 4 miles, 4:30, something like that. And I was running around. I went all the way around Community and went around like 7-Eleven. If you're familiar with the area, all around Alessandro, all the way coming towards Graham and then coming back towards my house. But by the time I reached my house, I was like, oh shit, like if I stop at my house, I'm not going to reach 4 miles. I'll be at three, I think it was like three, what was it? It was like 3 miles and 33, like 3.33 miles, something like that. So if I were to reach my house, it would be 3.33. So in terms, I had my inner Goggins. I was like, fuck. Okay, so now I decided, okay, we can do one more fucking mile, right? Like, I can do one more mile. Like, I gotta get this one more mile. I can do this one more mile. But at this point, I had mentioned it before, I'm at the 40% state. So in my mind, I am at my limit. I can't do any more. This is it. Like, you gotta stop because you're tired. You're exhausted. You can't do anymore. You can't continue moving your legs. Once I started getting that thought, it's funny how before I do this a lot. It's a paradox, right? Like the battle with your mind. So it's like on one side, your mind is thinking that you can't physically do anymore, but your mind is also a fuelant to do the things that you want to do. So like, damn it, how do I explain it? So your mind, at one point, your mind can be the sayer of you can't do it. But at the other time, in another time, your mind can literally push you beyond what you thought was impossible, right? In quotations. So it's like, at that point, I was like, no, you can't do it anymore. And so I decided, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I physically can. And I ran one more mile. I was able to run one more mile. And I ended up at 4.33 miles, right? In 36 minutes, by the way. Which is insane, because it's like you are capable of doing more. Like, who gave you that limit? Your mind? You think a voice is more potent and more powerful than your physical being? No. Come on. Like, push past it. Write one more thread. Edit one more video. Wash one more dish. Listen to one more podcast. Write one more journal log. Hit one more rep. Run one more mile. Like, what's holding you back from that? Not only that, when you do it, your mind, your subconscious, and your physical self is going to get so used to doing it. And so, every single time you train, every single time you write, every single time you read, you're going to continuously, progressively overload because you decided to do one more and one more and one more. And what does that do? My favorite. That shit, all of that, doing one more compounds to that dream destination, to that level of intelligence, to that level of artistry, to that level of being, to that level of body, just by doing one fucking more. Think about that. One is powerful. One might be the only... What does that song go? Like, one is the loneliest number that you ever do. Wow, it's kind of coming to me. Damn, that's a great song. I'm gonna listen to that after this podcast. Yeah. One is powerful. One is so fucking powerful. And if you can utilize this one mistake, one change, one more, there's no way you don't fucking just go out there and win. Like, just really listen to it, utilize it, and fuck. I hope you utilize this, and I hope you learned something new today. And fuck, damn guys, this shit's fun. Like, I genuinely enjoy coming here. And it's like fun putting on a hat. Like, I come out of like everything I've done for the day and I'm just like, okay, it's time to put the podcast hat on, And I fucking love it. I love this. And I'm really excited to just continue getting better. Because right now, I know I'm not good. But, like, I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't care if I suck right now. Okay? I'm just putting in a shit ton of reps. Because... 20 podcasts is the 1% of being a podcaster? I'm already almost there. So it's like, fuck. Like, even if you are, even if you are just starting one thing, even if you're just a beginner, just know you're starting from the beginning, right? And you're only adding on to the number throughout your time. What the fuck? Okay. You're only adding to the number one day at a time, Like for example, I started on Twitter, on X, November 2022, and I started at 34 followers, right? Or less, 29 followers, something like that. And now, like, I look at my phone and I'm at 1570, you know? Like, I grew that, I nurtured that. I consistently showed up because I saw what was capable if I just kept doing it, you know? And it's like for yourself too. Like, if you have something that you want to do, if you have thoughts about it, if you have all this, just this inspiration, this motivation just to fucking do, just understand, just keep doing. Like, keep going. Like, fuck. Like, why stop? You know? Like, why stop when you've lost the 20 pounds? Why stop when you've gained X amount of muscle? Why stop when you've read 3 books? Like, why fucking stop, bro? Like, why stop? What's the point? Why not just keep excelling? Why not do more than what you think you're capable of? Why not find out more about yourself? Why not try new things? Why not do one more? Why not make one change? Why not learn from one mistake that you made? Like, fuck, man. Fuck. Yeah. Look, I'm passionate about this stuff. And fuck, I hope you guys just listen. I hope you guys take action, man. Yeah, that's as real as I can possibly get. Fuck, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. This is the Eccentric Mind Podcast with George Hernandez, and I hope you have an amazing day.